First Money is Nigeria's biggest and most preferred agent banking network. Thanks to First Money, millions of people are living their dreams. Meet some First Money agents who are driving this.
First Money is the best POS that we use in my area. I started with one container beside me. This is my main branch. I have up to 7 branches.
With First Money, I've been able to employ 6 staffs, which 5 are female. So I see First Money as a business to employ and also to empower ladies.
Through First Money, over 1 million people across Nigeria have their financial services needs met daily. In all the accessible local government areas, you're bound to find First Money agents. With First Money, we're bringing financial inclusion and the many benefits that come with it. You first, First Bank.
Welcome back. I'm now being joined by Dr. Ayo Adeyemi. Dr. Ayo Adeyemi is the managing consultant, Norach Consulting Group. Let me put it that way because I know that he's into many things. And as far as entrepreneurial activities are concerned, you just have to listen to him. He even has a WhatsApp platform that he coordinates, Entrepreneurs Connect. Dr. Ayo, you are welcome to Finance and Investment Watch.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
You see, let me start by telling you a little bit of story about myself. I was working in a stockbroking firm. I think I was in my early 20s, and my appointment was terminated. And because of the way I managed my appointment was terminated, I swore never to apply for employment anywhere for the rest of my life. And so we had this vision of starting big. And it was almost impossible. Of course, we eventually took off. Most of the people we approached actually disappointed us. As a matter of fact, not a single fellow supported us, despite how well we're able to package the proposal and all those things. And I know, because again, by the grace of God, I was able to navigate through eventually. But I know that there are so many Nigerians who had such vision and they were not able to. Today, they remain in employment. Some remain jobless. Now, with your experience, what will you say are the basic challenges that potential entrepreneurs encounter in our country?
Thank you so much. Entrepreneurship really is a thing of passion. It's a thing that is not just an alternative. Most people, and from your experience, you swore not to pick up employment again because you felt dissatisfied how you were treated. Ab initio, you really did not plan that you were going to go into entrepreneurship, into business at that moment. So the usual challenge, first and foremost, starts with the individuals. They see entrepreneurs or business as alternative. Secondly, some people also see it as a way of getting across or getting back. Perhaps like your experience, when they lose a job, I feel like, okay, I'm going to start my business to tell you that, look, I can do something. The third level is that people feel like, okay, I need some control of my time. All right, so if I go into my business, I have my time. So these three analyses have made a lot of people to run into so many troubles. All right, but again, we also operate in an environment that's not totally packaged or prepared for such opportunity. All right, there are difference between you wanting to go into business, entrepreneurship, and there's another difference between that, okay, there are opportunity or there are support system. All right, so in Nigeria, really, for everyone that's going into business, there's no readily support system. Okay, so that is why you, like you said, you have to find it tough to break through. You have to sweat it out. And you find out that even when you want to work with templates of some other people, you find that it's not going to work. Because one, the system is not prepared for any such opportunity. Two, even those you want to work with.
Let me cut you short a little.
Yeah.
with what you said now, it does suggest that I cannot necessarily, having read books of probably Brian Tracy and some other motivational speakers, or people that people like Kiyosaki, and I really might not be able to read their books for practical experience in Nigeria. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, yes. Motivational speaker, motivational books can only inspire you, but the content thereof cannot be totally useful. Okay. If you talk about adaptation, maybe one or two things there, but when you talk about the environment, they are totally different. They operate in a different environment. In fact, some of them wrote those books based on their environment, which also gives their system. In Nigeria, there's no such much system. All right, so that can be a challenge. However, mentoring can work. You can also listen or share from experience of other people, can work, but you can't have a template to say, okay, this is how you started, so let me use that template and run. You will find, get your finger burnt, okay? But however, again, there are ways you can go about it, and that has to be one, how sure or how much of information do you have about even the line of business you want to go into?
In other words, before I even take off at all, I should be properly informed.
Exactly.
As in, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Continue from
now. Again, I'll say this. I've said this often, and I'm going to say again that the fund capital is not usually the first thing. All right. So the very first thing is to be sure that you have an idea that can be sold. You have a solution. All right. Now, I always encourage when you go into business, see that business or see your idea as a solution. Now, you're not coming to business to create more problems. You must have identified certain problem that you want to solve. So that is the first thing. Your idea, you must be so sure that you have those that need that idea or need that product. Okay.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
You see, we live in a very big country, right? North, south, west, east, diverse people, diverse culture, and diverse challenges.
Yeah.
Just as a guide to those who are watching, what are the basic problems you really can pinpoint for which someone like me should be seeking a solution so that I can become a profitable entrepreneur?
Okay, so this is it. Now, when you have an idea, of course, there are, like we say, there are so many problems, there are so many needs of human being. All right? So you need to look at, one, your environment, because you're going to start, well, you may say start big or start small. However, you're starting from certain environment. So what have you discovered about that environment? Possibly, your idea or your product might be an existing one. Okay, so you want to improve on that. It may be a new one entirely because you have seen some gaps from what has been operating. Okay, so when you look at your environment, you look at your own experience, and I like that, the system of, sometimes we call the Igbo system, that you go for apprentice, so that you learn. Okay, when you learn, it exposes you and gives you some insight, and then by the time you're going to launch, it helps you to start well. That there will still be errors, but your errors and mistakes will be minimal, and every error is at a cost. Okay, so even when you feel you don't have fund, all right, the little you have, it gets not taken, it goes down the drain because you've not done enough research, you don't have enough information. And that is why a lot of people have like, okay, because you start, they want to copy you, they want to copy that. Some even want to imitate your product and they get their finger burnt and they go back and like, is the woman in the village? I always tell people, there's nobody in the village. You have not taken time to really be sure of what you want to do and then identify those that need your service. It's not everybody. In fact, from taking off, not everybody needs your service. You need to also want to steal some other customer from other people, so they need to be sure that before they change their taste, change their needs, they are sure that the potency of your own idea or your solution can solve their problem. Quality. And of course, yes, when if it's also consumable things, people want to be sure that they are not going to take your product and go great beyond. So there are a lot of things that entrepreneurs need to consider. First, from your ideas, how authentic is your idea? How much of information do you have about your own solution? All right, how much of the environment the adaptability of your own idea to that environment? Okay, because you could bring idea from overseas. Now, how much of adaptability can you get to people here? Now, who are the people and then it comes back again to affordability, because no matter how beautiful your idea is, then the price, which is the only avenue through which you can also make revenue. All right, so a lot of people have come into market, okay, trying to say, okay, I want to, what they call it, cash out. All right, let me quickly launch this product and see I can get enough to cover my capital.
You cannot be talking about product launch without talking about how much do I really have to take off, the process of taking off. Let me tell you the way I took off in partnership with a friend.
Yeah.
We're able to raise just small amount to complete the incorporation.
Yeah.
But our idea was very unique.
Yeah.
We knew precisely what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And there was no challenge that could actually debar us because we had no choice. We have kind of broken the bridge, or we got the bridge burnt. So we will not go back and begin to apply for employment anymore. We didn't have money to even get an office, but we got someone who we had known earlier than that period.
Yeah.
And then we were not using that office per se. We only
you need the address, contact.
Yes, use the address.
Yes.
On our letterhead and our complimentary cards.
Yeah.
And then we go there every day. We're able to get telephones.
Yeah.
In fact, there was no GSM then.
Yeah.
We were using the local phone there.
Yeah.
Right? We wrote that on our complimentary card and our letterhead. So we go there in the morning, ask them, did anybody call?
Yeah.
And we give the receptionist there a tip.
Yeah.
Just as if we are not paying. It was not like bribery.
Yeah.
But because, again, she needs to help us do some recordings.
At least you compensate her, appreciate her.
So we just appreciated. That was the way we started.
Yeah.
Before we were able to get the deposits, and then we got office, we were able to acquire phone and things like that. That is my own personal experience.
Yeah.
But the experience of others might not be like that.
Yours.
Let me now ask you this. The challenge of funding, how difficult do you think this could be? And what do you think is the easiest solution, the easiest way out?
Okay, let me say this. Funding, like I said earlier, usually is not the first. But however, of course, you're going to get to that point that the fund will be important. Now, you don't go into launching any business or ideas without also counting the cost, all right? You need to have done your analysis and as to what you actually require. And then you have to also, what we do, cascade them in stages. Because, okay, if you will need 1 billion naira, for instance, to get your idea to the level you want it. Of course, you need to break it down in phases, okay? Because if you deploy 1 billion naira at a go and you get your finger burnt, then there will be issue. That is why most times you find those financial institutions finding it difficult to invest in so many ideas because they are not so sure, because the place of trust and the place of how do you pay back. Even when you provide collateral sometimes, you still find it difficult to get funded. But like you said, and I will take your own example to do this analysis, that one, what do you have in terms of what are you willing to invest as a business owner or as the business idea owner? The second one is you can work with your network, your connections. You started with partnership. It's based on your network or the connections. Now, a lot of people want to be the chairman, the MD. They don't want to start by like, okay, now let me leverage on network, on connections. And that's why many ideas die. At the takeoff, they die because why? They want to be the chairman. They want to say, I'm the owner of the business. In fact, what is important, you need to know is that your network, your connection will help you to get there.
Your network, your connection
will help
you to get there.
Some dreams are big. Some dreams are small. Some dream to go from place to place. Dreams of love and ever after. Dreams and sacrifices that builds the future. Whatever the dream or step or journey, you can do more with a partner that cares about your dreams. Access, more than banking.